Welcome to the Nightly Needle. Today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful snowflake. This can be used as an ornament, bunting, or even a motif for some type of clothing item. Let's get started. Before we begin, there's a few items you will need. You will need a 3-weight yarn in one or more colors. I'm using Premier Everyday DK in the color Mist. You'll need a crochet hook size 3.75 or 3.5 millimeter, scissors, and a darning needle. Now that we're ready, we'll take our yarn and we'll create a slip knot. You're going to insert your hook into the loop and tighten. Now we're going to lay our foundation. We're going to chain 4. Now we're going to be working in the 4th chain from the hook. You're going to make a cluster stitch. You're going to yarn over, insert your hook into the chain and draw up a loop. You're going to then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. You're going to yarn over and insert your hook into that same chain and draw up a loop. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through 2, and then you're going to repeat that one more time. Then once you have all 4 loops on your hook, you're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through all of them. This seals the cluster. Then we're going to chain 3. Now we're going to begin making the 2nd cluster. You're going to yarn over and insert your hook into that same chain. You're going to yarn over, pull through 2. You're going to yarn over, insert your hook into the chain, draw up a loop. Then you're going to yarn over, pull through 2. You're going to repeat that 2 more times until you have a total of 5 loops on your hook. Now that you have 5 loops on your hook, you're going to yarn over and pull through all of them. This gives us our 2nd cluster. You're going to then chain 3 so you can begin the next one. You're going to yarn over, insert your hook into the chain. You're going to draw up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, and you're going to repeat that 3 more times like we just did previously. Now again, since we have 5 on our hook, we're going to yarn over and pull through all of them, and this completes the cluster. Now we're going to chain 3. For the rest of the round, you're going to continue working this pattern of the cluster and chain 3. You're going to repeat it 3 times, giving you a set of 6 clusters and 6 sets of chain 3. Now that we've made our final chain 3, we're going to slip stitch join to that beginning cluster stitch. Now we're ready to begin the next round. We're going to do this by turning our work over, and instead of chaining, we're just going to make a single crochet into that chain space. I prefer this way just because it feels like it anchors in the stitch a little bit better, but you use your preference. If you prefer to slip stitch, that's fine too. Then we're going to chain 2 to begin the round. If you slip stitched, go ahead and chain 3. Then you're going to double crochet into that same chain space. Then you'll chain 2. Now we're going to double crochet 2 more times into that same chain space. We have completed our first half shell. Now moving on, we're going to chain 2. In the next chain 3 space, we're going to complete another half shell. You're going to double crochet 2 times. Chain 2 and then 2 double crochet again into the same chain space. We've now completed our second half shell. You're going to chain 2 and repeat in each of the chain 3 spaces around. You should end the round with 6 of the half shells and 6 sets of the chain 2. After you've made your 2 chains, you're going to slip stitch join to that beginning chain 3. As you can see, our snowflake is starting to expand and take shape. To begin the second round, we're going to slip stitch over to the chain 2 space. You're going to slip stitch into that second double crochet, and then you're going to slip stitch into the chain 2 space. Now we're going to chain 3. Then we're going to double crochet 2 more times into that chain space. Chain 2. Then work 3 more double crochets into that same chain space. We've completed our first full shell. Now we're going to be working in the chain 2 spaces between the half shells of the previous round. We're going to chain 2 and single crochet into that chain 2 space. Chain 2, and then we're going to be working in the next half shell's chain space. We're going to make 3 double crochets into the chain space. Now you're going to chain 2. Then you're going to double crochet 3 more times into that same chain space. Now that we've completed the second full shell, we're going to chain 2 and single crochet into that chain 2 space from the previous round. Then we'll chain 2 and begin working into the next half shell chain 2 space. You're going to continue alternating full shells and single crochets with chains all the way around. We've reached the end and you have your final chain 2. You're going to slip stitch join to the beginning chain 3. As you can see, our snowflake has more defined edges now, and the points are starting to become more prominent. To begin the next round, we're going to slip stitch over to the chain 2 space. You're going to slip stitch in each of the next 2 double crochets and then in the chain 2 space. We're going to begin this round with a chain 3. Then we're going to double crochet 2 more times into the same chain space. Then we're going to chain 2 and make 3 more double crochets into that same chain space. Now we've completed our first full shell of the round. Now we're going to be working in between. So you're going to chain 3 and you're going to single crochet into the single crochet from the previous round. Now we're going to chain 3 again and begin work into the next full shell chain space. You're going to make 3 double crochets into the chain space. You're going to chain 2 and then make 3 more double crochets into the same chain space. Now we're going to chain 3 and single crochet into the single crochet from the previous round. Chain 3 so you'll be ready to work into the next full shell chain space. We're going to repeat this alternating pattern of shells and chains with single crochet all the way around to the end. Now that we're at the end, we chained our 3 and we're going to slip stitch join to the beginning chain 3. Now we're ready to begin the final round, and like previous rounds we're going to slip stitch over to the chain 2 space. So in each of the next 2 double crochets you're going to slip stitch and then you're going to slip stitch into the chain 2 space. Now you're going to chain 3 and that counts as our first double crochet. You're going to double crochet 2 more times into the same chain space. In this round we're going to be making our points. So instead of chaining 2, we're going to chain 4. Then you're going to slip stitch join to the top of the double crochet that we're currently working out of. Here we've created a picot. It gives us a nice little ornamental point to decorate our little snowflake with. Now we're going to double crochet 3 more times into that same chain space. Now we have our first full shell picot. Now we're going to be working in the in-between spaces. So we're going to chain 4 and single crochet into that single crochet from the previous round. Chain 4. Now we're going to begin working into the next full shell chain space. You're going to double crochet 3 times. Now it's time to make a picot. So you're going to chain 4, then you're going to slip stitch join to the top of the double crochet that you're currently working out of. Now we're going to double crochet 3 more times into that chain space to finish off the full shell picot. Now you're going to chain 4 and single crochet into the single crochet from the previous round. Then you're going to chain 4 more so we can begin work into the next full shell chain space. We're going to continue alternating between the full shell picots and the chain 4 single crochets to the end. Now that you've completed your chain 4, you're going to slip stitch join to that beginning chain 3. So here we are, our snowflake is pretty much complete. You can fasten off now and use it as is if you like. I'm going to continue on and show you how to make it into an ornament. Like we've done previously, you're going to slip stitch into the tops of the double crochets until you get to the chain space. This time you're going to slip stitch into the chain 4 space of the picot. It's a little tight, but you should be able to wiggle your hook in there. Now you're going to chain 10. Then you're going to slip stitch into the same chain space that we're working out of. This creates a loop so you can hang it on your tree. You're going to chain 1, and now we're going to cut our yarn. You're going to pull your yarn through your chain and pull tightly to seal it. Then we're going to use our darning needle and weave in all the ends. Luckily, this project only has 2. Now that our snowflake is complete, it's ready to hang on the tree. I've made up a couple and put them on my tree as seen here. Not only do these make wonderful ornaments for your tree, you could also crochet an I-cord and string them up into bunting or garland. You could also leave off the hanging loop just to make a motif for some type of top or shawl. Thank you for watching my tutorial. I hope it was helpful. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.